Okay, we're gonna set up our illustrated timeline for the events of the Civil War. So I have the page with my N and my events. There's my mnemonic phrase that helps me know those events. It also is gonna help me on my illustrated timeline because these are the 7 events that I am going to illustrate and go through. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn to my next page. I actually like to skip a page because I used marker on mine. If you didn't, then you're fine, but I'm going to skip a page and I'm going to go right here. This illustrated timeline, we're not going straight across on a timeline because we will run out of room. We are actually going to end up taking 4 pages in our notebook. So I hope you have 4 pages. If you don't, you might want to tape some on to extend this going out. But I'm going to actually just keep it in here and not extend it, so that's okay. All right, so I'm going to do this by taking my paper and I'm going to fold it like a triangle. Okay, just like that. And then I'm going to open it, not a problem. And I'm going to draw that line. I'm going to draw inside that crease. Okay, there we go. So I have one section right here. My second section is going to be right here. I'm going to make sure I divide it down the middle so that I know that these are going to be separate events. So there is my second section. I'm going to take the other side and I'm going to fold it. Right there, I crease it, I open it back up, and here we go. I have my 4th section. So what I've done so far is I got 1, 2, 3, 4, but we know we have 7 events to cover. I'm going to use markers to make mine. I like using markers. If you don't use markers and you're just using pencils or crayons, then don't worry about skipping a page. So I'm going to actually skip this page, and then I tape them together, I glue them together so that I can go into my next one. But I don't want to go on the back because I am going to use markers and those will bleed through. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fold this piece right here and I'm going to open it and I'm going to draw the line just like I did before. So that creates number 5. And now I got 6 and I'm going to fold down here and right there, and then I'm going to open it up and I'm going to draw inside that crease, and now I have 7 and 8. And I bet you're going, but there's only 7 events. Yes, there's only 7 events, but I need one for the title. So I'm going to go back to my beginning, right where I was right here, and for my title, I am going to go ahead and write that these are the events of the, and I like to change my marker color just because I'm extra like that, Civil War. And it is going to be 1861 through 1865. All right, and so when I go in to label my events on here, I'm going to start right here. Inside this one is going to be event number 1. Okay, I got to make sure that I do my events in chronological order. If I'm not sure about the chronological order as I do my readings, I can look at my N also. Remember, we numbered them here and we see them in chronological order. All right, then I'm going to draw my arrow to say, okay, now we're going to event number 2. And then we'll go to event number 3. Okay. And then I'll keep going. I'm gonna draw my arrow up here. It doesn't matter where you draw your arrow. If it's a timeline, you gotta have arrows to show that they are coming after each other. And then I'm gonna come to my next section. And here's my event number 4. Where are my events? How do I know which one is which? Don't forget your N. That is right there. So event number 4 is going to be the battle at Gettysburg. All right, going then down to event number 5. Across to event number 6. And then up to event number 7. Now, as you create your illustrated timeline, make sure you look at the directions because it is not going to be just an illustration. It's not just a drawing. look at your directions. It's going to make sure that you have a summary for each, the date and event for each event, a 6-word or less summary. You'll have to include 3 pop words and some sort of graphical representation inside there. So I'm so excited to see what you guys come up with. Look at those readings. What are some pop words that help you remember? Bloody, gory, casualties, speech. What are those pop words you're going to use to put inside there? You have to have 3 pop words in each one. And then, of course, a graphical representation along with your 6-word or less summary.